So UFC 296 isn't too far away now, and I just had to talk about the matchup between Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. Now, for those of you guys that train, feel free to subscribe to my martial arts newsletter in the description below, and you also get my free ebook, Combat Training Essentials, in your inbox as well. I hope you guys find that helpful. It should help you out with all of your training. But let's get into it. As we know, things have been pretty tough for Tony Ferguson as of late. Isn't on the best run. In my opinion, should already retire. Now, let's just talk about where Tony Ferguson's at right now, okay? He's gone on that incredible run, and now he's just racking up loss after loss after loss, looking incredibly old, incredibly slow, and it is just incredibly hard to watch. As a Tony Ferguson fan, I think you guys are all with me. It's just heartbreaking at this point. And in interviews with MMA Fighting and Ariel Helwani, Tony Ferguson is just making up all sorts of excuses for himself. Seems to be completely delusional, and someone with mental health issues like him, I think he's going to find it pretty difficult to step away from the UFC, and I think that's why he's having so much trouble. I don't like to see anyone with mental health issues, and I don't like to see people like Tony Ferguson still stepping in the octagon at the same time. Obviously he sort of needs fighting to some extent, but at what cost to his future? He's going in there against a guy, Paddy Pimblett, who isn't exactly one of the best fighters going around, okay? He's incredibly overhyped. Incredibly overhyped. Probably one of the most overhyped fighters that we've seen in recent memory. I mean, we've got other hype trains like Bo Nickel and Khamzat Chimaev, but unlike those two guys, I don't see Paddy Pimblett ever competing for a title, okay? He's got the big mouth like Conor McGregor, but he can't back it up whatsoever. And in his last fight against Jared Gordon, he clearly lost that fight, It wasn't close. I don't know how anyone could have seen a decision in that fight going in Paddy Pimblett's way, okay? Jared Gordon absolutely smashed him, in my opinion, had most of the control time, outstruck the guy, and it was just a terrible decision all around. Now, since then, Paddy Pimblett has gone in for surgery, and he's looking to make his return against Tony Ferguson. Now, as bad as Paddy Pimblett is, as much as he absolutely sucks, I still don't see Tony Ferguson picking up the win here. Every performance of his, he's getting worse. He's not getting better. And he can make all of these excuses like, oh, I don't have the right team, or I haven't been in the right mindset. But dude, you're almost 40, right? Is he 40 yet? I don't know if he's 40 years old yet. But the bottom line is that Tony Ferguson is a shell of his former self, and he's not going to win this contest against Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett will be able to finish him via knockout, and he'll be able to finish him via submission. Now, Tony Ferguson's biggest, strengths throughout his UFC career has been his grappling. Obviously, he was an all-round great fighter throughout his UFC career, but his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was top class. And I think Paddy Pimblett is going to make a statement and submit Tony Ferguson. And I don't think this fight is going to go the distance. Now, do you guys agree with me that Tony Ferguson should retire at this point? If he loses this fight against Paddy Pimblett, okay, and if he loses it decisively, all right, he should retire. And I don't think Tony Ferguson is going to actually do that. Unfortunately, I think Dana White's going to have to step in and say, look, that's it for Tony Ferguson. That is the end of his career. I don't think I want to see him get the crap beaten out of him for much longer. That's all I've really got to say about this particular contest, other than Paddy Pimblett sucks and Tony Ferguson should retire. This fight doesn't really excite me very much. It really doesn't. I mean, we've got some other good fights on the card that really do excite me. I've got Leon Edwards versus Kobe Covington. We've got a breakdown of that coming out in a few days' time. And we've also got Shavkat Rakhmonov, who's a fantastic killer, who's going to be facing Stephen Thompson. Now, Stephen Thompson in that contest is a striker. Shavkat's a grappler. So I'll do a quick breakdown on that fight as well for you guys. But in regards to Paddy Pimblett versus Tony Ferguson, you know what? I really would like to see Tony Ferguson just smash Paddy Pimblett, just so everyone can see how much this guy sucks. All right? But I don't think it's going to happen. Tony's too old. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that's all from me, guys. Take care.